really understand why diners are so important in American culture, first we need to look at where they came from.
The history of the American diner is a fascinating journey that transformed a humble Lent wagon into a global cultural icon. It all began in 1872 in Providence, Rhode Island, when a man named Walter Scott started selling sandwiches and coffee to night shift workers from a horse-drawn wagon. These mobile kitchens, often called night-owls, eventually evolved into stationary restaurants made from converted trolley cars, offering cheap meals to the working classes. During the early 20th century, diners found a reputation as unsanitary, greasy spoons to survive and rule, especially after women won the right to vote in 1920. Owners cleaned up their image, adding flower boxes and using feminine names starting with Mendes to appear more welcoming. The golden age of diners truly arrived after World War II, with the return of servicemen and a booming economy. Manufacturers utilized wartime material like stainless steel, formica, and terrazzo floor to build modern restaurants. By the 1950s, diner architecture shifted to the Space Age style, featuring shining chromed exteriors, large windows, and neon-like design to catch the eye of motorists driving through the suburbs. Although diners later lost market share to fast food chains, a strong wave of nostalgia in late 1970s sparked a diner renaissance. Americans facing economic uncertainty look back to the warm, comforting value of the past, leading to the restoration of vintage structure and the creation of new retail-style diners. Today, American diners are protected as historic landmarks and remain a beloved symbol of community life, where people from all backgrounds can still share homemade meals in a warm atmosphere.
Now, let's see how Eddie menu captures the simple and comforting spirit of classic American diner cuisine.
Food is only one part of dining experience. How people behave in the diner is also an important part of American culture.
In American diners, mac and cheese is more than just a side dish. It's comfort served on a plate. Creamy, warm, and familiar, it perfectly fits the diner idea of simple food made for everyone. Macaroni first came to the US from Europe and became more popular in everyday cooking by the early 20th century. When combined with melted cheese, it created a dish that was filling, affordable, and easy to prepare, which is perfect for diners serving working-class customers. During the 20th century, mac and cheese became a diner staple, especially as box versions made it even faster and cheaper to cook. Served alongside burgers and meatloaf, it fits right into diner culture. Nowadays, mac and cheese remains a classic diner dish, loved for its simplicity, comfort, and the feeling of home it brings to every table. People eat mac and cheese in many casual and celebratory situations, but is especially associated with comforts, family, and gatherings like barbecues and picnics, Thanksgiving, Christmas, holiday dinners, 4th of July, or Super Bowls, parties, and game nights. We explore the history of the milkshake, one of the most iconic drinks served at classic American diners. This creamy and sweet drink has been loved by people of all ages for generations. The word milkshake was first used in 1885, but back then it described a very different drink. Early milkshakes were made with whiskey, milk, and eggs, and were considered a type of alcoholic snack. Over time, the recipe changed. Flavors like chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla were added, and by the 1930s, milkshakes had become a popular non-alcoholic drink served at soda fountains and milk houses. Milkshakes grew even more popular thanks to new technology. In 1910, the invention of a blender made it easier to create smooth, frothy drinks. In 1922, a man named Ivor Popcorn added vanilla ice cream to a melted milk drink at Walgreens, creating a richer and creamier milkshake. Later, in 1936, a special blender called the Multi-Mixer allowed diners to make several milkshakes at the same time, helping them become a diner favorite. Today, milkshakes continue to evolve. Some modern versions are healthier with less sugar and fat, while others are more indulgent, topped with candy, chocolate, waffles, or fresh fruit. Whether classic or over the top, milkshakes remain a fun and beloved part of American diner culture.
Breakfast and brunch special featuring eggs, hash brown, bacon, pancakes, and sandwich bread reflect everyday life in the United States rather than coming from a single historical movement. This combination shows how American food culture developed through practicality, abundance, and European influence adapted to local ingredients. Eggs have long been a cornerstone of American breakfast because they are simple, affordable, and nutritious. As poultry farming expanded in the 19th and early 20th century, eggs became widely available, symbolizing routine and comfort in both homes and diners. Hash brown emerged with the rise of diners, turning humble potato into a quick, energy-Greek side dish suited for fast-paced American mornings. Bacon, brought by European settlers, became a breakfast staple in the early 20th century, representing favor in protein-rich meals. Pancakes, rooted in European traditions, evolved into an American breakfast icon associated with weekends, family time, and slow, relaxed mornings. Sandwich bread reflects convenience and modern life, made popular through mass productions and the need for quick, portable meals. Together, these elements form more than just a meal. They capture the rhythm of American daily life, balancing nourishment and comfort, efficiency and enjoyment, and reflect the belief that a good day begins with a satisfying breakfast.
So after talking about the foods and the drinks in the America, let's move on to the America etiquette dining. What is considered as polite, normal, and expected when eating at a diner in the US?
Have you ever wondered how people behave at the dining table in American? Today I will show you some common etiquette at the dining table in American.
In American culture, meals are considered very important, not just for eating, but for building relationships and showing respect. Family dinners, formal meals, and especially parties are meaningful social occasions. Because of this, Americans pay a lot of attention to how people behave at the table. Over many years, American dining culture has developed clear rules and traditions. These include how to use plates and utensils properly, how food is served, and the order in which people eat. In more traditional or formal settings, elders are often served first, and the others wait their turn politely. In addition, appearance also matters. People are usually expected to dress neatly or appropriately for meals, especially when attending parties or special events. This shows respect for the host and for occasion. Because Americans place great importance on dining, understanding these long-established rules help people fit in better and avoid uncomfortable situations. Now let's take a closer look at some common rules of American dining etiquette. In American dining culture, being on time is very important. Arriving late to a meal is often seen as disrespectful. Another important point is knowing when to start eating. People are expected to wait until everyone at the table has food before beginning the meal. Starting too early is often considered impolite. When food is shared, it should be done carefully and neatly. Serving utensils are used to divide food, and people should never use their own fork or knife to take food from shared dish. When cutting food, the knife is held in the right hand and the fork in the left hand. These simple rules help keep the table organized and make the dining experiences comfortable for everyone. Phone should not be used at the dining table. It is rude to point at the table or get your towel on the people while eating. Sharing food and caring for others is part of good manners during meals. People often offer dishes to those around them and make sure everyone is well taken care of and included. People should avoid talking while chewing and speak only after swallowing their food. Conversation should remain calm and polite. Plural utensil means you're finished, while cross utensil signal a pause. Tipping is also important in the United States, and the customer usually leave around 15 to 20% for good service. By understanding these simple dining rules, you can show good manners, avoid awkward situations, and enjoy meals more confidently in American culture.
In America, tipping is not just a way to say thank you, but also an expected part of everyday life, especially in the service industry. In sit-down restaurants, the standard tip is usually 15 to 20% of the total bill. At bars, people commonly tip $1 or $2 per drink. For food delivery and ride-sharing service, tipping is also expected, especially during bad weather or long distance. Because of this system, customers are generally expected to tip, even when the service is average. Tipping extends beyond restaurant. Hotel workers like bellhops, and housekeeping staff, hairdressers, taxi driver, and tour guides often relies on tips as part of their earnings. Not tipping in these situations can be seen as rude or disrespectful, particularly for visitors who may not be familiar with American custom. Tipping culture in the US is often debated. Some people believe employers should pay higher wages instead of relying on tips, while others argue that tipping motivates better service. In recent years, digital payment systems have increased tipping requests, leading to what many people call tip fatigue. And in general, understanding tipping culture helps visitors avoid uncomfortable situations in the US. While tipping can feel stressful or confusing, it is often seen as part of being polite and respectful. Many service workers depend on tips to support their daily living.